What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to Fresh Start Monday. I'm doing another video today on making a murder. Because as you all know, season 2 is among us almost. So I'm really excited. I'm sure everyone who watches these videos is excited too, or keeps up with Eric Cozy's channel. This is gonna be good. I think a lot of people who have been following the case, we're going to see a lot of the same stuff that we've been seeing over the past few years here, and everything that we've looked into, and some new things as well. But before I get started here, if you're new to the channel, it always helps to subscribe. If you've been here before and haven't subscribed, think about it maybe. So what I want to talk about today is Ryan Hillegas one more time. And I did a video on Ryan Hillegas before, and some of the things I'm going to talk about, I've already talked about with Ryan, but some of the things that I might have missed, and I do just want to make sure I put it out there. And this is all speculation. I'm not saying he did it, but I'm just looking at the information that's in front of us and what we see, and use logic, use your brain and just see, well, that doesn't make sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, so let's just jump into this. There's just a few points I want to hit, and I want to start by how Kathleen Zellner reached out to Ryan many times, and he either declined or had no interest in doing this. And she wanted to talk to him literally just to clear his name. And that's why he became a suspect to her. If he had nothing to hide, talk to her, get it cleared up. That never happened. He didn't want to talk to her. So this website that I found here, George Zipper or something like that, I'm going to put a link to it so you can go through it and look at all the stuff, because what I'm doing right now is pretty sloppy compared to the plethora of information this person put out. I just want to go over the phone logs and how there's a 17-hour gap from October 31st to November 1st. I think it was like 7 something to 1 or 2 the next day or something like that. And if you look at his phone logs, I'll put them up right here, you can see he's a very active person on his phone. And that night that Teresa went missing and was killed, Ryan had a 17-hour gap of no contact on his phone. And from what Zellner says, there's no information or any kind of evidence that shows Ryan even had an alibi or was considered a suspect. He even said he wasn't a suspect. He never felt like a suspect, he said. This is another image from that website here, this blog, and these red boxes, looking specifically on October 2005, you can see these are calls between Teresa and Ryan. So looking at July, August, September, they did have contact. October, they had a lot of contact. And every Monday, 3, 10, 17, 24th, they were talking. But on the 31st, no phone call. And it's known that he had her planner. And then no calls after that. None. And this goes back into Ryan guessed her password.
Finding her cell phone records, how does something like that occur?
Well, there were a couple of us that tried figuring it out, but basically I figured out her password and made up a username that worked and got into her phone records, and they printed right off.
And then on the stand, he couldn't remember what the password was.
Now tell me about this online search. She had never shared her password with you?
No.
So you just went online to Singular Wireless or whatever, .com, and just guessed her password?
Well, we had just kind of figured that it would probably be something relating to her sisters, and I believe it was their birth dates that got into it for us. I'm not exactly sure about what the password was, but
Okay.
I'm just going to show a few more clips here of him on the stand, just to refresh your memory.
Did the police interview you and Scott together, or did they put you in separate rooms when they talked to you, or how'd they do that?
I believe we were in the same room.
Did the police ever ask you for any kind of alibi for October 31st?
No,
They never asked your whereabouts whatsoever.
I don't believe so.
Let me ask you about the weekend of October 29th and 30th. 29th being Saturday. Did you see her or talk with her that day?
I don't believe I talked to her on Saturday. I don't think so.
Did you talk with her or see her on Sunday?
Yes,
And where was that?
at her house.
And how did that come about?
I had just stopped briefly. I think I was dropping something off for Scott, and she was sitting there at her computer.
So the last time you actually saw Teresa was Sunday?
Yes.
Do you know about what time that was?
I don't know.
I mean, we're talking morning, afternoon, night?
I don't know.
You don't remember at all.
So there's that. Ryan being Ryan. The next thing I want to touch back on is Pamela Strum. The divine intervention. God helping her find the car. But after all the searchers, most of the searchers left for the day, Pamela, a former private investigator with ties to the Manitowoc County Police Department, was instructed by Ryan, who interjected himself into the head of the investigation, led the search party, sent her with a camera to a very specific location, and they found the car. All speculation. That's all I'm doing. Sorry, just going through my notes. There's a lot that I wanted to touch. I'm not going to even get to all of it. When he did interject himself into the investigation, initially he told police he was a concerned friend. Nothing about them dating for 5 years. There's a lot of stuff online and information that says it was abusive, verbally and physically. I don't know. I don't see anything specific on evidence that supports that, but it's been talked about quite a bit, how there's been abuse. And a lot of people speculate abuse just goes and goes and goes till something terrible happens. Abuse alone's terrible, but it can turn into something very bad. So there's that, the Pamela Strum. This is all just kind of a recap before season 2 starts, and I just want to refresh people on Ryan. On November 5th and 6th, he was granted access to the Avery property. He used the name Hillegas, Kilgus. Lied. He lied about his name. Why? He's lying. Do liars lie more than once? I'm sure. Yes. On November 7th, Ryan entered the property the day before Teresa's bones were found in the burn pit in Avery's backyard. He didn't log in. Not on the manifest or whatever. The day before he came, didn't log in. Convenient. All speculation. I want to show his hands here quick. This is a picture of him at getting everyone together for the search. You can look at his right hand and left hand. There's scratches and bruises that are visible. This is in close proximity to the time Teresa went missing. That was never questioned. I don't see any information about those marks on his hands. He wasn't a suspect. He wasn't questioned, so his hands were never photographed. But that image there shows there's some marks on him. Let's not forget about Ryan. That's all I'm doing this video for. And I don't think he's going to be forgotten because Zellner says he's a suspect. The last thing I want to touch on is that white Jeep. Wilmer Siebert, he lives close to the Avery property. I'll show you a picture of the road that where Siebert House here is on the right, and that road goes to Avery property. Siebert says he saw a green bluish colored car. Could have been a RAV4. He didn't see many cars like that, so it stuck out in his head, going about 40 miles per hour down that road before the car was found there in that spot by Pamela Strum, who was instructed to go there by Ryan Hillegas. The kicker is there was a white Jeep following that car, going 40 miles as well. He couldn't see who was in the car. They were going too fast, but both cars went in towards the property. One car came out. Now, if someone was going to plant a car, you would need to drive 2 cars in and 1 car would come out. Logical, fair. Siebert is an older guy. He has no interest in having fame or publicity or anything. This is just what he said. He'd lived there for a while. He's known the Averys, considered Avery a friend. He has no reason to lie. That's just what he saw. Now, from that same site where I was getting some of this information from, again, I'll put a link in the description so you can go look at this website. There's so much information on there. I can't even get into, I don't know, a very small percentage of what I talked about is from that. There's just so much information. I highly recommend going to look at it. But in that same blog post, there's this image. This is a white Jeep, Isuzu or something like that, rodeo. And it says in 2009 from Google Maps, this is a picture outside Andy Colburn's home. And that could definitely look like a Jeep to someone that's a little bit older and driving by, even though it's not exactly a Jeep. Has the tire on the back. From the side looks like a Jeep. A lot of people just call those Jeeps, you know. So, all speculation. I'm just putting this information out there in my own words, and you can make of it what you will. But what do you think? What do you think of all this information? Pamela Strum, the hand, no alibi, the phone logs. I'm curious what you think. Leave a comment below. I'm looking forward to this second season. I'm sure you are too. Maybe I'll do a watch party or something. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you next time. I'll probably do another video after I watch some of the new episodes. I don't think I'll do another one until then, but I appreciate everyone who watches, the likes, the comments, the negative comments, the positive comments. It's all good. I like creating conversation. So, yeah. See you next time.